Ladies and gents, welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to take you through the next round of National League fixtures. Apologies for not doing this a lot sooner. I've had a hectic time in the last couple of weeks. Plus, with all the postponements, by the time we'd have made one, they seem to get called off. But we do have a full program of National League matches, which take place from tomorrow, and I'll take you through my predictions for the games over Friday and Saturday. So the first two games of the weekend happen on Friday night, and they start with Notts County up against Barnet. Notts County are on an absolute flyer. They are, I believe, fourth in the table. No, they're fifth in the table. There you go. I just looked at the table, so they're fifth in the table. They're on a great unbeaten run at the minute, on 41 points. Whereas they play Barnet, who I've had a bit of a revival under Dean Brennan over the last few months, and are a lot more difficult to beat. Recently, only 2 defeats in their last 5 games for Barnet. Only 1 win in that time, but still. So that should be interesting. Obviously, there was the sad news last week that long-time BBC Radio Nottingham commentator Colin Slater, who covered Notts County a lot for 50, 60 years, sadly passed away last week, and it's good. It's good to see what Notts County have done. First of all, I'd like to send my condolences to the family of Colin Slater, including everybody that's involved with BBC Radio Nottingham and Notts County, and it's such a shame to hear about his passing. But I know that Notts County have done a special match day programme for Mr. Slater, and you'll be able to, and if you go to that game, you'll be able to pick it up, and there's plenty of tributes in there for the great man, for the voice of Nottingham sport, really. And I believe tomorrow's special guest, I think Neil Warnock is actually going to be at Meadow Lane to pay tribute, and a few other former players and managers will be there tomorrow just to pay tribute to the great Colin Slater. But that aside, now in regards to result, I think Notts County are very strong, very powerful, especially at Meadow Lane. And I'm sorry, Barnet fans, but I can't see past a Notts County victory. I'm going for Notts County 3, Barnet 1. I was going to say nil, but we'll go 3-1. The next game is Southend as they host Kings Lynn. Well, this isn't like a basement battle of basement battles. You won't believe, but it is. Southend are in 19th, while Kings Lynn are second bottom. Southend have improved under Kevin Meyer. That's for certain. They are a little bit away. They're about 7 points clear of the drop zone now. Kings Lynn, kind of, I suppose, where you expected Kings Lynn to kind of be, under now the stewardship of Tommy Witherington. It's one of these games that, feels like a draw to me. I mean, Kings have had 1 win in the last 5. Southend have gone 3 unbeaten and only lost 1 of their last 5. So that shows you how much they have improved. Against Kings Lynn, I fancy him to sneak it, Southend. I'm going to go for Southend United 1, Kings Lynn 0. I'm going to go for that. And that completes the Friday fixtures. Now we'll go on to the Saturday fixtures. And we start with a game between Altrincham and Torquay United. Torquay have started to find their feet a little bit in the last couple of months. They're looking back to somewhat their form in recent times, whereas if you look at Altrincham, they've just dropped off. They've just started to drop off a bit. They're not on a very good run. They've only picked up 1 point from the last possible 15. They're obviously coming off a 2-0 win last weekend. A 2-0 defeat, sorry. Not win, sorry. A 2-0 defeat to Grimsby last weekend. They weren't really much of a threat, what I saw of them. They definitely weren't the Altrincham that Grimsby played at the start of the season. They've just sort of plateaued, and they sort of lie in 16th. I think they'll be absolutely fine. But I think they've just, they have played a lot lately, to be fair, as well. And when you're on a bad run, your confidence starts to go. So strictly just on the form that Altrincham are on. I mean, Altringham's not an easy place for Torquay to go. I fancy Torquay to win this game. I'm going to go Altrincham 1, Torquay United 2. And next game, we've got Bournemouth up against Weymouth. Bournemouth was a lot of people's surprise package, but they've kept on going. They kept on plugging away. Again, like I said before, showing that they're more than just a one-man team, and they are. Obviously, up in 4th at the minute, up against third bottom Weymouth. Bournemouth unbeaten in the last 5. 3 out of the last 5 have been victories. With Weymouth, again, it's a team that you expect to be down there on a miserable run so far. Only 4 wins all season in the relegation zone with 15 points. I'm sorry, Weymouth. I literally can't see anything other than a Bournemouth win. And I'm going to say a big Bournemouth win. I'm going to go Bournemouth to win by 4 goals to 0. The next game on that we need to talk about now is Chesterfield up against Aldershot. Aldershot have improved in the last 2 or 3 months. And Chesterfield are coming off a bit of a surprising result midweek. They went down 3-2 to struggling Maidenhead. So they gave Chesterfield their second defeat of the season. And it always happens at teams you don't expect them to. A win for Chesterfield, a result for Chesterfield would have put them back on top. But with that defeat, that just stopped them from going to the top of the table. Aldershot have had a decent festive period, sort of early November to festive period. They picked up some good results, and I'm going to say for a Chesterfield win, but I think after the loss to Maidenhead, it'll just keep them honest. And sometimes I think you need results like what Chesterfield got midweek just to realise, hang on a minute, we've achieved nothing yet. But they're at home to Aldershot, and I do expect them to get the result there. I'm going to go for Chesterfield 2, Aldershot 0. Next we go on to my team, Grimsby Town, up against Bromley. There's obviously, will Andy Woodman be in the dugout? There's rumours of him going to Gillingham. Grimsby, they've had a torrid run as of late. Ended last time out with the 2-0 win against Altrincham. But only 2 teams have gone to Blundell Park this season and actually picked up maximum points. Those teams being Notts County and Chesterfield, and they were both 1-0 wins. So Grimsby aren't going to be any sort of pushovers. Bromley did beat Grimsby earlier in the season. At Bromley 3-1. Obviously, Bromley's main threat is Michael Cheek. Their recent form has been, again, fairly solid. To be fair to Bromley, they have been a fairly solid outfit this term, winning 3 of the last 5, only losing 1 of their last 5 games, on 41 points. Grimsby were 9th after 22 games with 36 points. Grimsby are within touching distance still of the playoffs. I think this is going to be a tight one. With our results at home, with Grimsby's results at home, I'm going to go for them to back it up again. I'm going to go for Grimsby Town 2, Bromley 1. Because obviously having the Andy Woodman situation over their heads, is that going to affect? I haven't heard anything myself personally about the Andy Woodman to Gillingham confirmation or anything, but is that going to be hanging over Bromley's head? And are they going to be questioning, will the manager be leaving, sort of thing? Because they were given the Andy Woodman was given the right to permission to speak to Gillingham. So we'll see. Just for that fact, I'm going to go for Grimsby Town to win, as I say, by 2-1. But that is a coin flip. I think if everybody knew what was going on there, Bromley would probably come in my thought the other way around. The next game after that, we're going to be talking about Maidenhead up against Halifax. Now, here's a game that I can't call. And I say that because Maidenhead, I said this right at the beginning of the season, if people can remember. Maidenhead are always one of those teams that will get results that you don't expect. I thought they'd be a bit higher up in the table as of what they are, but they did it again in midweek, didn't they? In midweek, Maidenhead did it again. They got a point against us earlier in the season, but if you look at it in general, you'd say this is a no-brainer. This is a gimme on your coupons. Back this and you're guaranteed this. The truth is, as Chesterfield will tell you, that's not the case. They scored 2 goals and still couldn't see the way past Maidenhead. Maidenhead are, they're 4th bottom, but they have won 2 of their last 3 league games. Here you go. And Halifax, top of the table. As I said, on paper, you'd think it's a Halifax win all day long, isn't it? I mean, they've picked up 3 wins in the last 5 games. So you're thinking, surely it's a gimme going to Maidenhead. Well, like I said, just ask Chesterfield. I'm sure they probably went in with that mentality. I think it shows you again that you're playing a team that is down at the bottom, and if your mentality isn't right, and especially against Maidenhead, because Alan Devonshire, how he does it at clubs like Maidenhead is unbelievable. They're always able to squeak a result. I don't see them doing it this time. I am going to go for, I think, Halifax to win quite handsomely. I'm going to go Halifax 3, Maidenhead United 0. Watch that result go terribly, terribly wrong. I can just imagine it now, but there we go. But yeah, I'm going to go for Halifax to stay top of the table and be the first team to reach 50 points with a 3-0 win over Maidenhead. Watch it be 3-2 or 4-3. And then we'll move on to another good side this year, Solihull Moors. They're at home to lowly Dover Athletic. I mean, this has got to be the most painful season for any Dover fan going. How they must feel going to games, 20, 30, how many they take, going to games and thinking, we're not going to win here. And it must be hard for the management, thinking, we were given a thankful task. They're still on, I believe it's minus 9 points at the bottom, or 8 points at the bottom of the table. They're on minus 8 points. No wins this season. Only picked up 4 points all season. That is all. They've actually lost 19 matches. I mean that just tells you, conceded 53 goals in the process, only scoring 19. Ironically, the same amount of goals as Kings Lynn. But they have been unlucky. That'll make you think that Kings Lynn, Dover, have not been competitive. In a lot of the games, they've been competitive. They've just been turned over by a late winner or someone squeaked a result against them. I don't see it again being any different. I'm going to go for Solihull, who are in 10th place. They're well placed to keep challenging for playoff berth. They're more than capable of doing it. And I'm going to go for Solihull Moors, sorry Dover, to win by 4-0 against Dover Athletic. Next we have Woking going up against Wealdstone. Well, here we go, because Woking are mid-table as mid-table can be in 14th, while they play Wealdstone, who are pretty much 18th. But I think they're definitely going to be safe. I think they'll just do enough. This is a game that, it could go either way, really, this one. I'm going to go strictly on basically who's at home in this occasion. I think it is a coin flip as to whoever gets this, but I am going to go for Woking to narrowly win by 1-0 against Wealdstone. Next up, we have Yeovil Town up against Wrexham, or a team that is now enough trying to buy absolutely anybody they possibly can. I wonder if they're feeling the pressure a little bit. This is going to be a tough trip going to Yeovil. It's going to be a long trip for supporters as well to go to Hewish Park. Yeovil are surprising, I think, a few people with how well they are doing. Yeovil are 11th in the table, so they're in the top half of the table. And I picked them as a dark horse for a possible playoff place. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that could happen. You know, but Wrexham obviously in 8th. You know, they're going to. They lost their last game. Obviously, they're going to be very eager to get a result. But this isn't going to be the easiest of games. Going to Yeovil. So much so, I'm actually going to go for a draw here. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Yeovil and Wrexham. Wrexham, like I said, they've got some cracking players there. And I think they're a little bit shell-shocked that they are only 8th. I think they're quite, I think their fans are a little bit surprised. Yeovil are just quietly going about their business. Although they have lost the last 3 games, but they did win the 2 previous. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw there between Yeovil Town and Wrexham. It's not maybe the result that Wrexham want. I'm sure they'll want to win, but Huish Park is not the easiest place to go to and get points. And the final game for this roundup is the TV game. And you can understand why this is the TV game. You've got Dagenham and Redbridge up against Stockport County. Well, haven't Stockport turned things around from their early season? And they certainly have. They're up into 3rd. They're on 42 points. They've won their last 4 games straight, ladies and gentlemen. And it is one of those kind of... This is a game that I think is fitting for TV. I can understand why this one was picked. They're playing Dagenham and Redbridge, Dale McMahon's Dagenham and Redbridge, who, again, are flying form-wise. Won 4 of the last 5, drew the other 1. 39 points. They're doing really, 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 really well. And this is going to be a tough one to pick because Dagenham is not an easy place to go. This is the one that when I saw it, I thought, I have a rough idea what I was going to do with the rest of them. But this one, if Stockport turn up and really turn the style on, I think they'll get the 3 points. I'm going to go for Stockport just. I'm going to go Stockport 3, Dagenham Redbridge 2. But a draw would not surprise me in this one either. It should be a good game, a good advert for the National League. So that'll be an interesting one to watch on Saturday night. That's on BT and it kicks off at 5:20. So if there are any Stockport fans that can't get to Dagenham or any National League fan or football fan, if you want to watch some National League football to get your teeth into, this is a game to watch, I will say. I'm going to go 3-2 to Stockport County. Now, that is my predictions for this weekend's National League fixtures. I will be back on Sunday for a preview of the midweek round of games. There is a midweek coming up, so I'll be back to preview that. What's your predictions for this weekend's games? Let me know down below. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll be back very, very soon with another video. I'll see you guys soon.